paper titled Fundamentals of Business Economics. What do we have in the paper? So if we look into the contents of the paper, we see that we have here the syllabus is divided into 4 sections. The first section, section A, talks about macroeconomic and institutional context of business. So see, what are the organizations, what are the business institutions all about? See the features and the purpose why they are established, what's the objective behind they being established, etc. So that we would be looking into that. So that has a weightage of 25%. The second part of it is microeconomic and organizational context of business. So we would be looking into, see, at the macroeconomic level, what are the organizations or institutions? At the microeconomic and organizational context, at the micro level, the organizational context of business. So how are the organizations made up of? That has 30% weightage. Then we see that some other informational context of business, um, which has 20%. The financial context of business, technically we would be getting into in details about the statistical aspect of it. See, economics is basically kind of a mother. Under her there are various I mean children or kids, or see, it gives shelter to many other fields. So economics, under that we see commerce would be there, under that we would see statistics. See, these are all interconnected, interrelated subjects. So here the subject is not looked into exclusively, but rather when we take the help of multiple other disciplines, like accounting comes into picture, we see finance comes into picture, statistics is a part of it. So multiple aspects of business, when they are integrated into economics, then we can understand the concept of it in totality. So here we see that it's not just at the macro level, micro level about the organization, about the business, but we will also have to look into in detail about what other aspects, like accounting part of it, or we would look at the statistics part of it. So those things also come into picture. But as we proceed further, see, we would start at a very simple level. The context, the content also, when we go through that, it is not a very complicated or a very difficult one. Slow and study will move ahead, and then we'll proceed further. So when we understand these aspects of it, so I think at the end of it, when we look back and then revise it, we would understand the basic aspects of business economics. So what are the contents? So the contents are elaborated in this manner. First we would see, um, it starts with what are the goals and decisions of organizations. So in today's class, we will be at present, so we will start with what are organizations, and then what are the goals and objectives and decisions the organization makes. So those aspects are considered here. So we would start with that. As we proceed further, we understand about the market system. See, the market system, the financial market system. What is the financial market composed of? What aspects are part of the entire financial market system? That we will look into that. The financial context of business, domestic economy, international. So there are multiple things, and then as we proceed further, then we see that we gradually move from, see, the basic level to understand what is a business, what's an organization. As we move ahead, then we would also bring about that macro level. So what is happening in the economy, and the organization which is part of the economy, what are the aspects of it? So as we move ahead, then we slowly also approach the financial aspect of it. Then we would move into the analyzing part of it, which is done with the help of statistics. But throughout, thoroughly, when we look into that, it is definitely not a difficult one. It is very, very easy. We will anyway go through that very casually, very coolly, very comfortably. We'll move ahead, and then as we are doing the topics, we will also touch on the exam kit questions. So basically, from CIMA exam point of view, these are all to be done in the objective pattern type of question. So in the class, we will touch upon that little later. If we need to focus more on the subjective part, then that also we can take it up. But right now, right away, so when we are starting, we will start on this note of what organizations are. So microeconomic and organizational context, one, micro level. So micro level at the business organization level. So we will be looking at what is an organization. Macro considers the entire economy as such, and then what where does the organization fit in that bigger picture? This is at the micro level. What is an organization all about? So microeconomic and organizational context. Okay. So the first part of it has the goals and decisions of organizations. But first, we need to understand what are the types of organizations. So let's understand the different types of organizations. Okay, the types of organizations. First, let's understand the definition, the objective behind why the organization is set up. So classification based on whether it is profit seeking or not for profit. So profit seeking and not for profit organizations. We have another classification: public, private, and mutual. Okay, so then the objective why they are established, the objective behind that is if it is profit seeking. So how are they evaluated? How do we look at such organizations? Let's say if it is not set up for an objective of making profit, how do we look at those organizations, not for profit organizations? And the principal agent problem and corporate governance. Let's straight away not start touch upon the corporate governance part of it, but let's first try to understand what is an organization all about. See, there are few definitions given, but one among them, what are organizations? See, there's one definition given by Buchanan and I don't know how do we pronounce it. Somebody. Okay, so there is a definition given here. So what does that definition say? Organizations are social arrangements. So there are certain arrangements for the controlled performance of collective goals. So here what do we understand? That the goal is not at an individual level, but when a group of people come together. So it's a social arrangement. So when we are talking about the goals, first we have to clarify one thing. Is it about one individual having a goal? See, you and I also as individuals, we also have goals and objectives and some purpose which we want to achieve. So can that be, can we be called as organizations as an individual at an individual level? No. Now, for any entity to be called as an organization, it talks about there should be social arrangement where people come together and perform together. Collectively, their performance is looked at. See, social arrangements for the controlled performance of collective goals. So all of them together would have collective goals. So all of them work towards the achievement of the same goal, same purpose. See, though they come together later on, they cannot claim that their goals are important. So what does it indicate? It indicates that no individual is superior here. All of them together work towards the achievement of a same common goal. There is a common goal, there is a collective goal. Okay, so first aspect, when we look into that, it talks about collective goals. Collective goals, why? Because it is not taken up by one individual, but it is taken up by a group of people coming together, social arrangement. So when they come together, all of them talk about, all of them claim to have only one goal, that is a collective goal. And that goal, for which, I mean, to achieve that, for which they, all of them together, they perform. Their performance is looked at as a collective performance because they all have one common goal and they want to achieve that common goal, collective goal. Organizations are defined primarily by their goal. A school has the main goal of educating pupils and will be organized differently from a company where the main objective is to make profit. So whatever it is, see, if it is a school, if it's an educational institution, they may have a different objective, or a profit-seeking organization may have some other objective, but nevertheless, all of them have the same goal, collective goal. Okay, so that is very important, collective goals. all of them work towards the achievement of the same goal, collective goal. See, organizations are defined primarily by their goal. So whatever it is, whatever is the objective, whatever is the goal, that goal would be something which everybody together collectively they have. So it's a collective goal. Organizations are defined primarily by their goals. And what are those goals? Those goals are decided by a group of people collectively. So that's the aspect of it. Then it says that it is a social arrangement. So see, if somebody is working on their own, it is definitely not an organization. It is at an individual level. But we are talking about an organization. So organization, if it is an organization, people should come together. People should collaborate with each other, come together, join together, and then have an arrangement agreement that they will work towards the achievement of a common goal. So that's the aspect what we are looking at here. So someone working on their own does not constitute an organization. The organizations have structure to enable people to work together towards the common goal. So then only it can be called as an organization when they have a common goal. And this common goal will be the goal of everybody who comes together to join hands, okay, towards the common goals. Larger organizations tend to have more formal structures, and smaller ones have little less arranged structure, or the organization also is named by a different name of different organization structure. Nevertheless, when people come together, they join together, when they have an agreement arrangement among themselves to um, run the organization for whatever is the objective, but that objective is a collective objective. Okay. I will also later on help you out. I mean, will give you the types of organization based on the size, but right now let's just look into the definition part of it. Even small organization will divide up responsibilities between the people concerned. Then the third aspect of it is the performance is controlled performance. What does it mean by controlled performance? See, when people come together, when people with different perspectives, different ideologies, and then ideas, when they come together, when they um, take up the goal, um, take up the purpose or responsibility of achieving the goal of the organization, in that case, then um, there is every possibility that they may get deviated, because it is, if it was one individual can have a focus towards the achievement of the organization objective. See, if it is just one individual, if it is just one individual, then in that case, individual knows what is the goal which he or she wants to achieve. But here, when group of people come together, they may not have the same perspective, they may not have the same vision in which they can proceed further and achieve the goal. So organizations have systems and procedures to ensure that goals are achieved. These could vary from ad hoc informal reviews to complex so here, how if we claim that group of people may not have the same vision, in that case, what has to be done? So the way the performance is controlled is, see how can it be achieved. So here in this case, we see that there would be a plan or a strategy which would be laid down for people to follow. So how the performance can be controlled, the way it happens in the organization is, in first there would be a plan which is decided, which would be implemented. So that is what one second, I don't want this I'm just looking at how to remove the side panel. Okay, so no, when I'm scribbling on the screen, I want some writing space also. For that reason, I was just looking at that. See, when there is a plan decided for people to implement that plan, so in that case, everybody, this arrangement, social arrangement, or people who come together, now they would be implementing this plan. So now they understand what is the way in which they have to proceed for the move ahead and then ultimately achieve the collective goal. Okay, so when there is some blueprint there is some plan there is a strategy which everybody has to follow. From time to time, it is also looked into whether they are going according to whatever is planned, they are going ahead in the set direction or not. Let's say if they are not moving ahead in the same direction, it would be monitored and observed as to how they are proceeding further. And if at all, if they are not achieving the targets, if they are not moving ahead in the same direction, measures are taken to control their performance. So there would be a control exercised or control measures exercised based on whatever is the plan that is decided. Okay, so planning and control, planning and control go hand in hand. So that is the basic point here. So here we see that organizations are social arrangements for the controlled performance of collective goals. So the key aspects what we have highlighted, the first one is it's a social arrangement. People come together to achieve the common goals. So the common goals are collective goals. See, as they move ahead to achieve the collective goals, or as they implement whatever is planned for them, as they're moving ahead, it would also be looked into whether they are achieving whatever is planned for them. So if at all, if they do not achieve what is planned for them, if there are any kind of deviations from what is actually planned, then control measures are taken to control their performance. Okay, that is the definition of an organization. So that's how an organization is defined. I hope it is clear, Kavya.
Yes, ma'am.
We will be now looking into what are the different types of organization depending on um, the purpose why we are established. So the first one we see types of organization. First classification is based on different categories. The first category is, it says that types of organizations: private organizations, mutual organizations, and public organizations. So under this, we see one category is private organizations, mutual organizations, and public organizations. So this is the first classification of organizations. Now, what are private organizations? It says that private organizations owned by individuals, partners, or shareholders. Now, we do not see the role of the public sector here. These are private individuals, entities who come together and then join together. We call such an organization as a private organization. Privately, it was held by, I mean, if it is held by private people without any role of the government or the public sector, then we can call that as a private organization. Second, mutual organizations. So mutual organizations owned by employees, customers, or members for the mutual benefit. If they come together and join and form an organization, we call them as mutual organizations. The third category is public organizations. What are public organizations? Public organizations owned by central or local government bodies. So here we see the role of government in establishing an organization. Such organizations are called as public organizations. So there are three different types of organizations um, based on who establishes that, who is part of the organization. If it is owned by private people, then we call that as a private organization. So these people are could be basically individuals or partners or shareholders, but nevertheless, all of them are, uh, private people. There is no hand of the government in this. There is no role of government in establishing this kind of an organization. So, privately held or private organizations for the mutual benefit of each other when employees, customers, or other members come together and join the organization or start the organization, then we call that to be as a mutual organization. But if we see that the organizations are owned by any type of government body, central or local government body, then it's called as a public organization. Very basic. There is nothing difficult in this to be remembered. Then we see that if the the second classification, if the organization is established with a specific motive, motives can be broadly classified as profit seeking and not for profit organizations. So there are organizations which are established with the main goal and objective of earning profit. See, that is the basic purpose behind they being established. So we see that uh, organizations with an objective of earning profit are profit organizations. So there are certain organizations which are also established um, with a motive of not making any profit. We call them as NFPOs, not for profit organization. Then why are they established? See, we cannot say that organization is only there to earn profit or maximize profit. There are certain other organizations also which are established where they do not have this objective of maximizing profit or earning profit in the first place. Then the purpose behind that they being established is to render some service to whoever is the stakeholder. Stakeholders could be anybody. So their purpose is basically to provide some service to the stakeholders. See, not for profit organizations may exist in the public sector. Example, education, local government services, some nationalized services. Okay. Then not for profit organizations may exist in the private sector. So if they exist in the private sector, they are called something else, and then they could also be established in the public sector. So not for profit organizations may have service effectiveness. If they are in the private sector, we call them as mutual organization, charities, clubs, etc. Not for profit organization may have service effectiveness, public welfare, etc. as their objective. So the basic purpose behind why they are established is to render service. So that's the basic purpose behind NFPOs, not for profit organizations. See, organizations are classified based on the purpose for which they are established. Okay. One second. One second. Just a minute. No, I'm just looking at. I want the exam kit also to be there open. So wherever it is possible for me to take you through the exam kit, I would want you to go through that also. To continue with not-for-profit organizations, okay. So technically, when we speak about not-for-profit organizations, see here we have defined the objective, the goal as the purpose is not to make any profit. So profit earning is not at all their criteria at all. Then how do we measure the performance? Organization, when we have defined the meaning of organization, the definition of organization has one very important aspect, which is controlled performance. The performance has to be controlled. See, how do we understand the performance? If they have achieved the target, then we can say that the performance is up to the mark. Now, from a student's perspective, let's say you are a student, your performance also is measured from time to time. See, by studying, you are not earning any profit, there is no financial aspect of it, but yet your performance is measured from time to time. See, of course, there is some benefit which is achieved over a period of time. There is definitely no doubt about it. All that what you're spending now is considered as social investment, or later on, yes, you will definitely reap the benefit out of that. But as of now, as of now, there is nothing, no profit which is earned by the student at an individual level also, if we are talking about. But yet the student's performance is also measured from time to time. That is by way of having some assignment tests given, uh, some midterm exams or exams conducted, then project work given. See, there is a way in which the performance is assessed and measured. See, for a student, at a student level also, when that happens, so if it is an organization which is established with some goal or some purpose, now their performance also has to be measured. So we cannot leave that, but their performance also has to be measured. Now, in that case, see, if profit organizations, how do we measure the performance? Whether they have achieved the goal of earning a particular amount of sales or making a particular percentage of profit, etc. So the cost does not exceed a particular limit. Various financial aspects are there which are very easy to understand, and measurement of performance is also easy based on that. Now, that is for profit seeking organization. But how to measure a not-for-profit organization? So their performance also has to be measured. So here, what do we look into that? See, financial consideration, not-for-profit organization may make surpluses, but this is not the main objective. So there may be a financial element included, but that's not the sole purpose behind a not-for-profit organization being established. So this is not the main objective. See, NFPOs still need to use resources efficiently and effectively. See, um, in case of not-for-profit organizations, what do we understand? How do we measure the performance? So there's a concept for these organizations which we call it as value for money. The value for money, whatever is the money which is spent on these organizations. Of course, we ruled out that their purpose is not to make any profit. That part of it is completely ruled out. So here then again, how do we measure the performance? Or see, if there is no profit, does it mean to say that there is no accountability? Because nobody would question them whether they have made a profit or not. So that's uh, can we conclude that there would be no accountability? Definitely not that. See here, their performance is also measured by way of uh, checking out what is the value for money. What value for money is the money which is spent here. Is it worth spending it? So that's the concept what we have to look into. As part of value for money, they assess three different E's. There are three E's of value for money. See, the first E we see is economy, the second is efficiency, and the third is effectiveness. So how is it measured? The first part of it is